Hello there, my fellow artillerymen. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens. Episode 87, We Aim to Please. So what I'm planning on doing here is plugging up this hole once we're done uninstalling everything. And breaking this down so it's like open. It's like not a shelter or anything. Hello, tannering. So we're not going to need chem fuel supply. We will only need a little bit of steel. Oh man, I might even be able... No, it's a little bit more steel than I can break down from the horseshoe pin. Alright, Fameface and Mazin. You are... free to return home. With 2 art components. And... yeah. Oh, so this is max range. So I'll need a full pod launcher. Got it. So then this outpost only needs a resupply of... oh my god! Yes! Oh! Oh no, it's 60, not 50. I thought I had enough. It needs 10 steel. God, that's rough. Okay, fine. Almost perfect. What a logistics nightmare. Okay, Madsen and Fangface back on normal stuff. Madsen, go get your recon armor. Fangface, go take off that Uber Toque or Uber Parka. Because these are clothing that I'm reserving for, you know, important excursions. Actually, Fangface, help me put that where it belongs. Okay, so now they're wearing the correct stuff. Melee summer. Melee summer. It occurs to me that I should have been making marine helmet. I mean, I've been obviously... I hope you understand, a little busy. But I'll have Wishbringer make 2 marine helmets for the brawlers. And everything is coming home. Yeah, I've been a little distracted. Just a little. I am not likely to require these outposts again. But it's like, also kind of not worth destroying them. I don't know. Maybe I'll get rid of them. Bye-bye craps. First one might be worth keeping. Yeah, maybe. But it's like not near anything that I think is going to be helpful to me. This one does have stuff set up, though. I mean, you're not wrong. I suppose I can leave it. I just don't want it, like, triggering a lot of events and being confusing. Well, welcome home to entering. Thank you for being relief. I almost didn't need a relief person, but I didn't quite calculate it well enough. I was like 40 fuel off. That's it! 40 freaking fuel off. It's like almost painful to say. But alright. We now have 3 out of the 6. And we are only a third into summer. So, where to look for ARC components? The inhabited villages? Or the industrial complex? So the inhabited village is 1 hop away. It is closer. We would just need to kill a whole bunch of villagers. And the industrial complex is way down here. It's another complicated multi-hop process, but we wouldn't have to murder a whole bunch of innocents. Y'all can decide amongst yourselves. I'll give you 2.5 minutes to contemplate that. Tough decisions. I mean, that's what Frostpunk's all about, right? It's having to make tough decisions. So there's still one more light to be hauled. Ooh! I didn't realize we were mining plasteel this whole time. Is it really exhausted? It really is. Okay. The plasteel wing is, done. Luckily, there's, like, lots of other plasteel around. So there's plasteel here, plasteel here, plasteel here. Plasteel is not going to be difficult for us to obtain. I have 1 chem fuel. Oh, there we go. I was going to be like, 1 chem fuel. So I think I want to plug this here rather than here. And then I'm going to disembowel this area a little bit. Actually, given that we're heading into summer, I'm going to do a full deconstruct. It is colony value. I don't really need that anymore. And the same could be said of this plasteel arm. Everything beyond this point, I don't need. Okay, industrial complex. Got it. Now the issue, it does have one issue. Unless we're sending multiple people, I don't know if we have the resources to do that right now. In fact, with the chem fuel we have, I don't think we have the resources full stop. Ooh, fish pick, you looking good. So I'm going to try to send a group out to the industrial complex. The other thing is this industrial complex is, we don't have to go during the summer. And the reason I am saying that is, this zone is obviously in winter right now. Right? It's 56 degrees south. For reference, ours is 46 north, so it could be really, really, really cold. We might actually want to wait till winter to go there. Because... Or for our winter to go there. Or at least our, like, fall. So that it's, like, averaging between the two zones. So there's plenty of time to prepare. In other words. Gives plenty of time to stockpile chem fuel. Yeah, well, we got our Nutrifungal farm back. Sooner or later, that will be nice and stocked. I was definitely hoping for more, well, I guess given the name, we could have assumed it wouldn't have a lot of components. One was a prototype and the other is an industrial complex. Given the name industrial complex, one might assume that it has a lot more ARC components to be utilized out that way. Oh, nice. We did a cotton harvest. Okay. Rice. Potatoes. Berries. We're up to 560 again. And I think once the heel root's done, maybe I'll have a permanent cotton planters. So I'm all out of fungus for chem fuel. We could do bug meat. I do have 2,700 bug meat. But now that the pilgrims are eating bug meat, you can also argue that that is like a food source. And leaving it alone might make more sense. I think that if I was on the fence, that's where I'm sitting. Question for you guys. Should I send a solo survivor to the next ARC site or send a duo? Now that you've seen a duo and the weight, I mean, pawns weigh a lot, right? They weigh a whole lot. Now that you've seen the weight of a pawn, like let's say roughly 70 kilograms required to send a pawn, there is an advantage to how much supplies has to be sacrificed to do a duo, or to versus a solo. Have you ultimately decide that? Am I fat shaming them? No, I'm not fat shaming them. It's just expensive. It ain't free. There are 2 seals at the enemy site, yeah. Seals aren't too much of a threat to anyone that has a reasonable amount of shooting skill, though. The reason I pulled this is if I was going to send a solo, I might actually be able to go out sooner than later. Let's assume, making some assumptions here, we've got 150 300, 450 chem fuel needed to go. If we send a solo, we can basically double that to 900 if it's a duo. So I'm closer to being able to send a solo, but I'm not that close to be able to send a duo. No big deal. Just pointing that out. Another task that I'm going to need to do is to start to deep scan for uranium. And then on top of that, so let's get this, oops, let's get this open. Deep scan for closer uranium and then tap plasteel. How long is the double strand? I'll check in a minute. This isn't exactly an insulated tunnel, but I think this should be fine for plasteel. So we'll get that up. And then the other thing is removing the old plasteel tunnel. So the reason I'm collapsing these older tunnels is they do add colony wealth, and I don't need to be paying for them. Alright, so we'll send a duo. Copy that. We'll try to save up for a duo. I'm going to say like 1,000 chem fuel and 1,000 steel is rough estimate what I'm going to want to be able to go there. But given that it's an industrial complex, I think it might be a little safer to assume that it will provide the materials for the return trip. Maybe. That, of course, is a big maybe. You asked about the double strand? About halfway. Oh, some wood. So there's some power cables up here that I can't tear out because they're pretty embedded. It's not a big deal. So I think our steel production is coming along. We've just shy of 1,000. It's the chem fuel that's lagged behind because we stopped sowing nutrifungus. I guess that's on me. I didn't realize how absolutely mind-bogglingly expensive it would be to do the first trip out to the first dark site in terms of chem fuel. And I stopped the chem fuel or the nutrifungals production thinking we'd have enough, and I was absolutely wrong. All's well that ends well, though. Another thing I'm going to need to update is the home zones, because not a home zone anymore, and not a home zone anymore. Ew, that's not good. Well, this is almost done. That was way faster than I thought. And instead of building things from scratch, we can just use the uninstalled equipment from the previous builds. There was one thing I should put in, which is a power switch there, though. I had forgotten that aspect. I'm going to see about, oh, crap. I did not mean to hit calibrate efficiency. Crap. I'm going to live with that by turning off the grow lights. And turning off the ground scan. Turning off the research room. Yeah, that was a big oopsie. I can still power surge, even in efficiency mode. So I can always power surge the batteries back up. But yeah, that was a misclick. I meant to hit arc fine-tuning, not calibrate efficiency. And there's definitely not a warning prompt of, are you sure you're doing something stupid? Yeah, I know. So for those that don't know, the calibrate efficiency, the way it works is it makes your generator produce like 1% of its total power, like it's a low power mode, so it's producing very, very, very little amounts of power, but it will make it more efficient once it's done. And I didn't mean to hit it, so I'm trying to reduce the amount of power that I'm using right now, so we don't break the bank. So, turning off the drills I don't need. And I'll just, where the whole colony will be in kind of a low power mode. All right, 18 or 17 more hours, and then power will be back on. Turn off the sleep accelerators. Not a bad idea. Ugh. So we need to turn on grow lights, mining tunnels, sleep accelerators, and ground pen scanner when we're done. I'm glad I had those giant battery banks. Okay, so the new plasteel zone is constructed. And we're just waiting on low power mode to be done calibrating in 11 hours. And given that I have only lost a third of my power in half the time, we're on track to not have a brownout or blackout. We'll be fine. I just had to turn off a whole lot of stuff because of that. But it's summer, so if there was ever a time to accidentally cut power, it's now. It doesn't really matter too much in the summer when the heaters are putting in a lot less work. So the current priority is craft armor and plan a trip to the new or other Ark site. And as soon as I have the chem fuel that I think I need, I'll set out. Gross. Question for you, chat. This is obviously open to everyone, not just pilgrims. Should I process insect meat for chem fuel? I have a lot more insect meat than I have nutrifungus. And it would get me there faster. And heading into the winter, we can also re-enable the bug trap. So there is a potential for getting more insect meat through bug baiting. So if that sounds good to you, feel free to vote yes. Okay, the calibration's done. It's now producing 1% more power. And we can turn on everything that I had turned off. How's the current food situation? I've got 1,400 potatoes, 380 rice, 1,400 rice, and we've got like plenty of crops currently growing. So I don't think I'm like food insecure. But with that said, you can, you know, use this information and make that decision for yourself. Am I low? I'm very low on gold. And uranium, for that matter. I also have 1.1k jelly. Yeah, that's true. Got insect jelly for days. Major break risk. Oh yeah. I mean, being disenfranchised with high psychic drone. I think it's probably worth, given that we had a successful Ark excursion, to raise the faction politics. We are working together, and we got halfway to our goal of uranium, and I think that calls for a little morale boost. Not just because of the psychic droner, but I had stated at the start of the stream that we are working on a shared community goal, and as we progress through upgrading the Ark, which is the ultimate goal of the series, that moods would improve, and getting half of the components needed for a, you know, nuclear reactor, I think is something worth celebrating. Also looks like you guys want me to process insect meat for chem fuel, so let's go ahead and do that. Look at all these guys hauling slate from God knows where. I think I am done with the hauls. We can haul, like, iron and coal. That's going to be a lot more useful. So chem fuel, we are up to 302. I'm aiming for roughly 1,000. And then once we have a decent amount of gold and plasteel stockpiled, I'll also start stockpiling uranium, which is understandably really annoying because it's way, 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 way out here. But a nuclear reactor is obviously going to need uranium as a source of fuel. It's going to be the only source of fuel. So getting uranium is pretty important, which is why we have our ground pen scanner going. I'll just double check that I don't have uranium known anywhere else. I mean, it would be a small node. No, that really is the only uranium known to us. Well, let's hope we find some closer. Ideally in our own backyard. Because it's critical for our success. Wow, what the hell? How do we make that much chem... Oh my god, that was fast. Bye-bye, insect meat. But hello, chem fuel. Devilstrand is almost, well, it's not quite harvestable, but it's getting pretty close. Oh, I lost a heater in the bug bait. They must have destroyed it. I have a spare, it's not a problem. I think I'm going to get rid of the deadfall traps. I just don't envision a situation where I'm going to be using them. And fuel's up to 700. What is the age of the Devilstrand? Oh, good question. So it is 58% grown. And it's 2 quadrums. So it's a half a year old. And it lives for 3 years. So it's fine. Ah, we got some siegers. Siegers armed with triple launchers. Alright. Two can play at that game. Main door is open. Pity we have no antigrain? Well, we have HE shells. Counts for something. Okay, I definitely don't need an infestation in the middle of a siege, so let's turn that bad boy off. I didn't tell you to hold fire. That could have been bad. I don't want you firing before I'm ready. So Axios and Cardinal are going to start shelling the enemy. Once they get supplies. There we go. Well, direct hit. That was quick. 3 of them are dead. Steel knife, Molotov. So, not the ones I wanted dead, but, you know, whatever. Colonel, where are you going? Because we can make shells, granted, I know it's with chem fuel, I might as well just keep trying to hit their... Oh! I got him! Oh, not the one I was aiming for. Oh, I got him twice! Oh my god! The triple launcher just got murdered. So, Sai is in front. And there's a bit of an advantage to that, which is being in front, he's going to be easy to isolate. So... let's gank the triple launcher. The other guy is gonna like bleed to death. He's got like 5 hours to live, and he's not on Goju, so he's gonna pass out real soon. So Sai will come around this corner. Actually, Madsen, go the other way. And we'll just jump him with our brawlers. And with a wall of shooters, he's going to die well before he gets a shot off. You dead? Okay. Getting ready for the rest of them. Your name is Trigger? Wait, what? Get off that door. Go around. Loser. I think I'm going to take up secure positions more than fire angle positions. So we're all lined up. Good. And here they come. You are sniping at me. You only have an 11% chance to hit me. I'm not too worried about that. They're probably going to lose their entire raid part. Oh, you are repositioning. You know what? Here. Eat some turrets. I'm going to have AR and Zeusen... Ouch. You just got hit. AR and Zeusen backing out. And Winner as well. Fish pick. Or actually, Madsen, you can go heal Winner. So I probably turned the turrets on a little bit too late. God, torso again? Alright, they're fleeing. They're fleeing forwards. So these guys go there. So that we have fire angle on them. We can slow them down. The only one making it out might be Lover. The Defector. Well, you lived up to your name. You defected from defecting. Good job, you. Can't force me to fight if I'd always defect. Correct. Torin the Night Owl and Kate the Pretty. Unwaveringly loyal. Not interested in either of them. And then there's Trigger, the Triggerman for the triple launcher. But don't care about him either. Alright, that went well. Unrestricting. And we only got shot like twice? Thrice? 1, 2. Twice. Yeah, this one has, is not going to survive. They got shredded. Lover is going to make it out. With, like, I think 2% hypothermia to spare. Because I think you drop at 64% on average. It obviously depends on, like, other health conditions and the like. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld Frostwardens, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it. as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow pilgrims and stalwarts.